Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mandell, and today I want to talk to you about something that is happening inside your body right now. Something that most people over 60 either don't notice or they simply brush aside and think, well, that's just part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you, it is not something you have to accept. After the age of 60, the average person can lose anywhere from 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every single year. 3 to 5%. That may not sound like a lot, but when you do the math, that adds up to devastating losses over just a few years. And the part that concerns me most as a doctor is this: the muscles that go first and that go fastest are the muscles in your legs, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your calves, your glutes. These are the muscles that keep you upright. They keep you moving. They protect your joints. They keep you independent. And when they start to disappear, the consequences go far beyond just feeling a little weaker. We're talking about falls, fractures, loss of independence, and a dramatically reduced quality of life. Now, here's the most important thing I want you to hear right now. This condition has a name. It is called sarcopenia. And once you understand what it is, once you know the warning signs, and once you know what to do about it, you have every reason to feel optimistic, because this is one of the most reversible conditions I have seen in my entire career in medicine. So stay with me today. I'm going to show you the 6 warning signs that your leg muscles are wasting away, including one sign, sign number 4, that most of my patients are completely shocked by when they first hear it. And then I'm going to give you a clear, simple action plan to fight back starting today. Let's get into it. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is sarcopenia? The word comes from the Greek, sarco, meaning flesh, and penia, meaning loss. In simple terms, sarcopenia is the age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass, strength, and function. It is not a disease in the traditional sense. It is a condition, a biological process, that begins as early as your 30s and 40s, but really accelerates after age 60. Now here's something I find fascinating and important for you to understand. Not all muscle fibers are the same. You have 2 primary types: slow twitch fibers, which handle endurance and sustained movement like walking, and fast twitch fibers, which handle explosive, powerful movements, things like catching yourself before you fall, getting up quickly from a chair, or climbing stairs rapidly. Sarcopenia attacks the fast twitch fibers first, and it attacks them hard. This is why the very first things older adults notice are not stamina problems, they're power and reflex problems. Difficulty rising from a low surface, trouble catching a stumble before it becomes a fall, legs that just feel dead after short periods of activity. Now, here is what I need you to hear very clearly. Feeling tired, feeling a little slower, those are not automatically signs of sarcopenia. Everyone gets tired. But when your muscle tissue is literally shrinking, when motor units are dying off and not being replaced, the symptoms are specific, and they are progressive. And once you know what to look for, you will recognize them. I want you to pay very close attention to sign number 4 coming up in just a few minutes. It is a visual sign, one you can actually see on your own body, and it is the one that most of my patients say, "Doctor, I thought that was just normal." It is not normal, and it matters more than most people realize. Sign number 1. Your walking speed has slowed down, and not just when you're tired. Now, this might sound like a simple observation, but walking speed is one of the most powerful predictors of overall health and longevity in older adults. Researchers actually call it the 6th vital sign, right alongside blood pressure, heart rate, and temperature. And there's a very good reason for that. Your walking speed depends almost entirely on the strength and coordination of your leg muscles, particularly your quadriceps at the front of the thigh, your hip flexors, and your glutes. When these muscles begin to shrink due to sarcopenia, Your stride length shortens. Your cadence slows. You take smaller steps. You feel less confident on uneven surfaces. You slow down not because you want to, but because your muscles are literally not powerful enough to drive your body forward the way they used to. Now, here is a simple self-test you can do right now. Find a clear, flat stretch of floor in your home, about 30 feet or 10 meters long. Walk it at your normal pace. If it takes you more than 12 seconds to cover that distance, that is a medically recognized indicator that your lower body muscle strength may be declining. And I want to ask you something honestly. Have you found yourself slowing down in parking lots? Taking longer to cross the street? Choosing to sit when you used to stand? These are not small things. These are your body telling you something important. Do not ignore them. The good news, and there is always good news, is that walking speed is one of the first things to improve when you begin a targeted leg strengthening program. I have seen patients who could barely cross a parking lot begin walking at a healthy pace again within weeks of starting the right routine. Sign number 2. Getting up from a chair or a couch or a toilet or a car seat has become genuinely difficult. This is one of the most common things I hear from patients in my office. They say, "Doctor, I have to rock forward 2 or 3 times before I can stand up." Or, "I always reach for the armrest now. I never used to do that." Or, "I grunt and strain just to get off the couch." And I always tell them the same thing. This is not laziness. This is not weakness of character. This is sarcopenia affecting the eccentric strength of your quadriceps. Let me explain what I mean. When you stand up from a seated position, your quadriceps, the 4 large muscles at the front of your thigh, have to fire forcefully and in coordination. But they don't just contract, they have to control and decelerate the movement as well. That ability to control force during lengthening, we call that eccentric strength, is one of the first capabilities lost to muscle wasting. Here is your self-test for sign number 2. It's called the chair stand test. Find a standard height dining chair, no armrests if possible. Cross your arms over your chest so you cannot use your hands to push up. Now try to stand up from a fully seated position. Can you do it with a controlled, smooth movement? Or do you need to swing forward, use your arms, or struggle? If you cannot rise cleanly without your hands, your quadriceps strength is below the threshold that most functional fitness experts consider healthy for your age group. Here's what I want you to practice every single day. Sit down slowly, not drop into the chair, but lower yourself with control, and then stand back up 10 times in a row. This is one of the simplest and most effective exercises you can do to rebuild the exact type of strength you are losing. Start with 10. Work up to 30. Your quadriceps will respond. Sign number 3. Your legs fatigue quickly, even after short activities, and you are experiencing more frequent cramps, especially at night. Now, I want to be very careful here because not all leg cramps are related to sarcopenia. Dehydration, mineral deficiencies, circulation issues, these are all important things to rule out with your doctor. But when muscle wasting is involved, the cramping and fatigue have a very specific character. They come on faster than they used to. They occur after activities that used to feel effortless, and they take longer to recover from. Here's the biology behind this. Healthy muscle tissue is rich in mitochondria. These are the tiny powerhouses inside each muscle cell that generate the energy your muscles need to contract. As muscle mass declines with sarcopenia, the total number of mitochondria in your legs decreases as well. Your legs literally have less energy capacity. They run out of fuel faster. They accumulate waste products like lactic acid more quickly, and they send fatigue signals to your brain much sooner than they should. On top of that, the blood vessels supplying the legs depend partially on the muscular contractions of the surrounding muscles to assist blood flow, what we call the muscle pump mechanism. When those muscles shrink, circulation suffers. Nutrients don't arrive as efficiently. Metabolic waste doesn't clear as quickly, and that sets the stage for cramping. Here's what I recommend. If you are experiencing nighttime leg cramps, gentle calf stretches before bed can help significantly. But more importantly, begin moving those legs regularly throughout the day. Even short walks, ankle pumps while seated, or gentle heel raises can stimulate circulation, wake up dormant muscle fibers, and begin the process of reversing this pattern. Do not let fatigue convince you to rest completely. Movement is medicine. Now we have arrived at sign number 4, the one I told you about at the beginning of this video, the one that surprises my patients the most, and it is simply this: your thighs and your calves look visibly thinner than they used to. And before you say, "Well, that's normal, doctor, I've lost weight," I want you to stop and think about this very carefully, because this is not about overall body weight. In fact, many of my patients who experience this sign have not lost significant weight at all on the scale. What has happened is a process called body composition shift. Muscle tissue, which is dense and metabolically active, has been replaced by fat tissue, which is looser and metabolically inactive. The scale doesn't necessarily change, but the shape of your legs changes dramatically. Look at your thighs. Are there visible hollows or concavities on the inner or outer thigh where there used to be fullness? Look at your calves. Are they visibly narrower than they were 5 or 10 years ago? These are the muscles that are wasting. Here is a very simple self-test called the calf circumference check. Take a soft measuring tape and measure the widest part of your calf, the belly of the muscle, on both legs. In adults over 60, a calf circumference below 31 centimeters, that's about 12¼ inches, on either leg is considered a clinical indicator of low muscle mass and sarcopenia risk. I want you to actually do this. Right now, after this video, get a measuring tape, because this is not about vanity. This is about function, independence, and longevity. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors with low calf circumference had a significantly higher risk of mobility limitations, hospitalization, and premature mortality. Your calves are not just cosmetic. They are a window into your overall muscle health. And if the numbers are below that threshold, I want you to take that seriously, and I want you to start acting on the information I give you at the end of this video. Sign number 5. You are experiencing balance problems, grabbing for walls, furniture, or people for support, and you feel an increasing fear of falling. I want to address the fear of falling first because I think it is extremely important and very underappreciated. Many of my older patients tell me they have begun to restrict their activities because they are afraid of falling. They don't walk to the mailbox anymore. They don't climb stairs if they can avoid it. They sit rather than stand. And I understand completely why they feel this way. But here is the cruel paradox of this situation. The less you move, the more muscle you lose. And the more muscle you lose, the worse your balance becomes. And the worse your balance becomes, the higher your fall risk actually is, even though you think you're protecting yourself by staying still. The physical reason your balance deteriorates with sarcopenia is twofold. First, the stabilizer muscles around your ankles, knees, and hips, the smaller muscles that constantly make micro adjustments to keep you upright, are weakened. Second, sarcopenia impairs proprioception, your body's ability to sense where it is in space. The nerve endings embedded in your muscle fibers that send positional signals to your brain become less active as the muscle fibers themselves decline. Your brain receives less accurate feedback, your reactions slow, and a stumble that a younger, stronger body would recover from automatically becomes a dangerous fall. Here is your self-test for sign 5. Stand near a wall or sturdy surface for safety. Lift one foot off the ground and try to balance on the other leg for 10 seconds. If you cannot do this on either leg without significant wobbling, reaching for support, or putting the foot down before 10 seconds, your single leg stability needs immediate attention. Practice this test as an exercise. Stand near your kitchen counter. Lift one foot, hold for 10 seconds. Switch sides. Do this 5 times on each leg every day. Within 2 to 3 weeks, most people notice a meaningful improvement. Because the proprioceptive system, just like muscle tissue, responds to challenge and training. Sign number 6. This one might be the most misunderstood of all. You have experienced unexplained weight loss, or your weight has stayed the same, but your legs look thinner, softer, and less defined than they used to. This is what some healthcare providers call the skinny fat phenomenon in older adults. Here's exactly what's happening inside your body. Muscle tissue and fat tissue weigh approximately the same per unit of volume, but they look completely different, and they function completely differently. A pound of muscle is dense, compact, and firm. A pound of fat is soft, loose, and takes up significantly more space. When sarcopenia is actively occurring, you are losing muscle and, in many cases, simultaneously gaining fat, particularly around and within the leg muscles themselves. Doctors call this intramuscular fat deposition, or myosteatosis. The fat literally infiltrates the muscle, replacing functional muscle fibers, and on a scale, this process can be completely invisible. Your weight may stay exactly the same, while your actual muscle content drops dramatically. This is why I always tell my patients, do not trust the scale alone. How do your clothes fit differently? Has the shape of your legs changed? Do your legs feel softer when you press on them? These are the real questions. If you recognize yourself in this description, if you look at your legs and think, they just don't look like they belong to me anymore, I want you to hear this. That feeling you have is your body's way of asking for help. And help is absolutely possible. I have watched patients in their 70s and 80s rebuild visible leg muscle, regain leg shape, and completely transform how they look and feel in their lower body through consistent, targeted exercise and proper nutrition. This is real. This is possible for you. So, now that we know the 6 signs, let's talk about why this happens. Because understanding the cause is the key to understanding the solution. The most fundamental driver of sarcopenia is inactivity. Muscle tissue obeys one of nature's most unforgiving rules: use it or lose it. When muscles are not challenged regularly, when they are not asked to work against meaningful resistance, the body does not see a reason to maintain them. It begins to break them down for energy and to redirect cellular resources elsewhere. This process accelerates dramatically after 60, when the signals that normally promote muscle protein synthesis begin to weaken. The second major cause is inadequate protein intake. Your body needs a constant supply of amino acids to repair and rebuild muscle fibers. After 60, the body's ability to use dietary protein efficiently actually decreases, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means older adults need more protein, not less, to maintain the same level of muscle synthesis that a younger person achieves with less. Third, hormonal decline plays a critical role. Testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone, and insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, are all anabolic hormones that support muscle building and maintenance. All of them decline with age. Less of these hormones means a less favorable environment for muscle repair and growth. Fourth, and this one often surprises people, poor sleep. The majority of human growth hormone is released during deep sleep. If you are not sleeping adequately, or if your sleep quality is poor, you are significantly limiting your body's ability to repair and maintain muscle tissue overnight. And fifth, chronic low-grade inflammation. This is a condition that becomes more prevalent with age and is worsened by poor diet, sedentary behavior, and high stress. Chronic inflammation actively breaks down muscle protein and disrupts the normal muscle maintenance cycle. Now, here's what I want you to take away from this. Every single one of these causes is modifiable. You can exercise, you can eat more protein, you can work with your doctor to support hormonal health. You can improve your sleep. You can reduce inflammation through your lifestyle. This is not a death sentence. This is a solvable problem. Let's talk about what you can actually do, right now, starting today, to stop sarcopenia in its tracks and begin rebuilding the leg muscle you may have lost. Step 1. Resistance training, 2 to 3 times per week. This is non-negotiable. It is the single most powerful intervention for sarcopenia that exists in all of medicine. You do not need a gym. You do not need heavy weights. Body weight squats, chair stands, wall push exercises, resistance band exercises for the legs, heel raises, step-ups. These are all incredibly effective. The key is that you must challenge the muscles with enough resistance that they are forced to adapt and grow stronger. Progressive overload, gradually increasing the difficulty over time, is the principle that makes this work. Step 2. Increase your protein intake. Current research suggests that adults over 60 need between 1.2 and 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to effectively support muscle maintenance and growth. For most Americans over 60, that means significantly more protein than what they are currently eating. Prioritize high-quality, complete protein sources: eggs, fish, chicken, lean beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and legumes. And spread your protein intake throughout the day. Do not eat most of it in one meal. Step 3. Optimize your vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in older adults and is directly linked to muscle weakness and sarcopenia. Have your doctor check your vitamin D level. Most adults over 60 benefit from supplementation. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon and mackerel and in fish oil supplements, have been shown in multiple studies to help combat the muscle protein breakdown associated with aging and inflammation. Step 4. Walk every single day. Even if you are beginning a resistance training program, daily walking provides circulatory benefits, functional muscle activation, and metabolic benefits that resistance training alone does not fully replicate. Aim for at least 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking each day. If that is too much right now, start with 10 minutes and build from there. Every step counts. Step 5. Protect and prioritize your sleep. Go to bed and wake up at consistent times. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid screens for at least 30 minutes before bed. Limit alcohol in the evening. Your muscles repair and rebuild while you sleep. If you are not sleeping well, you are undermining everything else you do for your body during the day. I want to say this clearly. It is not too late. The research on muscle plasticity in older adults consistently shows that the human body, even at 70, 80, even 90 years of age, retains the remarkable ability to build new muscle tissue in response to the right stimuli. I have seen it happen. My patients have experienced it, and I want that for you. In a future video, I will be walking you through a complete step-by-step leg strengthening exercise routine, specifically designed for adults over 60 that you can do entirely at home with no equipment required. Make sure you are subscribed so that you do not miss it. I want to leave you with this thought. Your legs are not just a way to get from one place to another. They are your independence. They are your ability to play with your grandchildren, to travel, to live in your own home, to participate fully in the life you have built. And they are worth fighting for. Sarcopenia is real. It is common. It is serious, but it is not inevitable, and it is absolutely not something you simply have to accept as, quote, part of getting older. The 6 signs we talked about today are your early warning system. The 5 steps I gave you are your starting point. You now know more about this condition than most people ever will. Use that knowledge. Start today, not tomorrow, today. If this video helped you, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. It helps more people like you find information like this when they need it. And please share this video with a friend, a spouse, a sibling, a parent. Someone in your life needs to hear what you just heard today. Leave me a comment below and tell me, which of these 6 signs have you personally noticed? Or if you have a question you want me to answer in a future video, put it in the comments. I read them and I care about every single one of you. And if you have not subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button right now and hit the bell notification so you never miss a new video. We are here every week with information that can genuinely change your health and your life. This is Dr. Mandell. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video.